And it's ironic, it's one of my favorite stories because it's one of the, if not the first, it's the turning in all of European literature when they actually have a story about Christmas and God's not mentioned in it at all. It's the first demonstration of secular Christmas. It's called The Christmas Carol, Ebenezer Scrooge. There's no God, there's no angels, there's ghosts, it's spiritism. But something happens there, and something of a secular conversion, I guess you could call it. But there's something amazing. When one of the ghosts, I think the final one is maybe the ghost of Christmas future, is taking Ebenezer around, they come upon a group of men who are basically throwing a party. They're rejoicing, they're drinking, they're laughing, they're celebrating. And Ebenezer wants to know, what are they celebrating? And who is this wretched individual that has died, that is so wretched that because he's dead, everyone is celebrating? Who is it? Who is this pitiful soul? And then Ebenezer finds out it's him. That the town is celebrating because he's dead. Now I'm going to take this pretty far. Imagine you come across a conversation between God and the elect angels, and they're talking about a person that must be removed before there can be a new heaven and a new earth. Imagine the terror of discovering that that person is you. I told you it would be scandalous, and I told you it would be dealing with reality. See, so many times, so much is said about Christianity just kind of in a fog. You can't see clearly. This is trying to cut away the fog and show you, hey, this is real. This is real. I know of times when sons have gone wayward and began to corrupt all the other children in the family, and they have to be disowned. They have to be sent forth from the house. That's happened throughout history. And as terrible as it is, sometimes it's necessary. So imagine you must be disowned from all of creation so that you might go to a place where there is no place found for you, so that God can renew the world. You see, the problem is you. Now let's go on. He says, after that, he said, then I saw a great white throne. Literally, I saw a throne. Great white comes afterwards, but I saw a throne. Now, what I want you to know about this throne is that it's God's throne. It almost as though we wouldn't want to put an indefinite article, a throne. We would almost want to put the throne, but the context proves it to be true. This is the throne of thrones. All other thrones, although we must respect men in authority and men today that sit on so-called thrones, we must respect them, know this. They're nothing more than little children sitting on papier-mâché thrones with little tin crowns on their head. That's all they are. And if you ever come to a point where you fear some politician or some authority, get a better view of God, and you won't fear them so much. You'll pity them. Because here is a throne. I wish that all believers, including myself, would get a greater picture of this throne, because it would be such an encouragement. You know, in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord high and lifted up, and his train of his robe filled the temple, and above him stood the seraphim, each having 6 wings. With 2 they covered their face, with 2 they covered their feet, and with 2 they did fly. And one cried unto the other, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the posts of the door moved at the voice of him who cried, and the house was filled with smoke. What's that all about? It's all about this. In the year that King Uzziah died. You see, Uzziah was Isaiah's friend, I guess you could say, if there ever was a friendship between a king and a prophet. And he died. And Isaiah needed to see a throne. He didn't need a group hug. He didn't need other men to come and just whisper something in his ear to make him feel better about himself. No, he needed to see God. And that strengthened him to the point where he could tell the truth, to the point where, as tradition says, he was sawn in two with a wooden saw, and as they cut him open, he cried out the word of God. How was he able to do that? He saw a throne. He saw something of the one who sat upon it, and according to John chapter 12, the one who sat upon it was the Son. He saw the Son. As a believer, you need to see a throne. As an unbeliever, you need to see a throne and realize you'll be judged.